guys, it's us back with the Folklore Scrolls. Is here with me, John.
And the other guy, Goose.
Yeah, and today, we're back here again. Site 17, they still haven't found us. We're washing those windows. We made them spotless, but now we're down here in the bushes. And just so happens to be that we have ourselves another SCP paper right here. And this one, I think, will relate a little bit to the topic of the month. That's Halloween. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. I don't know. We'll find out.
It's got a big spooky skeleton on it.
Yeah.
And some pumpkin stickers.
SCP-3114. Now, this is a little bit higher on the list than we're used to. But hey, we'll go with it. Object class Euclid. Secure containment procedures. SCP-3114 is held in a 3 meter by 7 meter enclosure surrounded by reinforced steel with impact glass windows for observation.
Pretty basic.
A smaller 1 meter by 2 meter cell is attached to contain SCP-3114. When its enclosure needs to be entered for maintenance, enrichment, or inspection. When SCP-3114 needs to be moved from one section to another, a projection of human subject will be displayed on a wall in the desired area. Once SCP-3114 attacks the projection, the door will be closed. No personnel are to enter SCP-3114's enclosure outside of approved testing procedure. So give us a description of it there, Goose.
Alright, description. It's an animate human skeleton.
Oh.
About 1.6 meters tall.
So it is a walking skeleton. The picture on the front was right.
Pretty spooky there.
Spooky time.
Weighs about 30 kilograms. That's pretty light. It's pretty light. Probably about the size of an actual human skeleton. Though it has no articulation or connective tissue, its individual bones remain in place as they would on a human body.
Oh, wow.
Individual bones can be pulled out of position, but quickly return to their correct position when there's no longer an outside force acting on them.
Okay.
So just like, video game skeleton comes back to life.
Oh, yeah.
Together.
They reanimate. That's like Dark Souls, right?
Yeah.
Like sometimes you knock them down, you gotta take them down twice.
Exactly. Though SCP-3114 is made of similar
Simulars?
Stop. Similar minerals as human bone, it is much denser and stronger, requiring more than 3 times as much force to break. A broken bone will mend, though it takes several weeks for a larger bone.
Oh, wow.
There is no current explanation for its ability to move. Its observed range of motion in its joints are similar to a healthy adult female's. It is much stronger than a human of comparable size. It is able to lift at least 250 kilograms with one arm.
Wow.
That's like a person.
That's like me.
Yeah, let's wait.
Well, I don't know.
50 pounds.
I'm 205 pounds. So I don't know what that is in kilograms.
I believe it's more. I believe it's even heavier.
Oh, okay.
Yes, because I thought it was like 900 kilograms? I forget last time I checked. No, wait, that's not right.
Wait, what?
I'm
you're
about
supposed
1,000
to
tons.
be the one that knows the metric system.
I'm about 100,000 tons, so...
Well,
no, it's not true.
Yeah, obviously. That's why we can't leave. We can't leave our...
I often
Well,
weigh
that's,
things.
I didn't want to say anything, but I think that's why we broke the window cleaning thing there and fell down here to the bushes.
10 kilograms is 22 pounds.
We're doing a math lesson
So
here, folks.
250 kilograms is a lot more pounds. So yes, it is heavier than a person.
But still, is able to do that with one arm. Either way, it's a little bit stronger than I am.
It's measured
just by a little bit.
Measured grip strength of 270 kilograms. Its maximum observed foot speed is 60 kilometers an hour.
Man, I could run that in my sleep.
What is that like?
I think that's as fast as Elon Bolt, right?
Usain Bolt. Is his name?
Trying to do Elon Musk. Usain Bolt.
His foot speed's about as smart as Elon Bolt.
Yeah. Anyways, that's pretty quick.
This bony boy is able to react to visual stimuli, just like us, with an apparent field of view similar to a human's. However, it does not react to sound or smell. It responds to touch, but it's difficult to test its sensitivity.
But how was it able to see a projection of the human, though? Didn't they say they put a projection of a human for it to attack?
Yeah, sound or smell.
Okay.
But touch and sight are fine. I'm guessing spooky ghost orbs in its face.
Maybe.
Let's see. It has made no attempts to communicate. Scratch that. See entry 16 experiment log. Well, I guess we'll look at that after. It is extremely aggressive. Or should I just go right down to it? No. Extremely aggressive, immediately attacks anytime it sees a human or other biological humanoid, referred to the targets from Araron.
When it sees a potential target, Bony Boy will take the quickest, most direct route it can, only avoiding obstacles it cannot push through. Once it reaches the target, it will latch on with its hands and begin squeezing around the throat. Once the target has stopped moving, SCP-3114 begins tearing openings in the target's body and pulling out its bones. Over the course of several hours, once it's completely removed the target's skeleton, it will attempt to pull the remaining flesh over itself. This tears the flesh into multiple parts. Once the body is no longer in one piece, it loses interest in it. When no target is present, Bony Boy is fairly docile. It explores its enclosure but does not attempt to escape. SCP enrichment objects such as blocks, tires, cardboard boxes, and sticks are provided and replaced at regular intervals. When the lights are turned out for the night, Bony Boy lays down and becomes motionless. Though it resembles sleep, it is still capable of responding to visual stimuli. Experiment log excerpts. Entry D1724 at a 120 kilogram adult male. Date is all blanked out. D1724 attempted to run when he saw Bony Boy approach. When it caught him, he attempted to fight back, but was unable to do appreciable damage to Bony Boy. However, this did agitate, I'm just gonna say BB from now on, BB, a great deal, and damage to the subject was greater than in other observed cases. BB gave up removing the subject's bones partway through when it became clear the subject's body was not intact. The remains were placed in a corner. BB placed several sticks in a cardboard box on top of the subject, as though burying him. Wow.
Entry 5. The last one's entry 3. This
Okay.
one's entry 5. So, few spaces in between. Store mannequin dressed as D-class personnel. The Bone Zone ran to the subject. As expected, however, it stopped several feet away. It stared at it for several minutes, then waved a hand in front of the subject's face. It seemed confused by the lack of facial features. It proceeded to touch the top of the head, tapping it several times before finally carried it back to its enclosure, where it placed it in a corner. It mimicked its pose several times while standing next to it. It removed the mannequin's clothes and attempted to wear them. However, it was unable to operate the belt, and could not keep the pants from falling. After several attempts, it appeared to grow frustrated. It removed the clothes and then threw them at the mannequin into a corner.
Amazing. Let's see. Entry 6. Female gorilla. Date blank. BB approached the subject, but not become aggressive until the subject stood up. BB proceeded to engage in its typical behavior. However, the gorilla was able to break BB's left ulna before it expired. BB was unable to fit itself into the subject's body, given up after the body was no longer intact. It was buried in the corner as previous subjects. Oh, okay, so this thing is stronger than a female gorilla.
Well,
that is pretty great.
Probably as strong, I assume. Male border collie. Bone man approached the subject cautiously. It examined it with its fingers and seemed surprised when the dog licked it. It interacted with the dog for 2 hours, becoming visibly more excited. It appeared to be engaging in play behavior. It wrestled with the dog without harming it and threw sticks to it. At one point, the dog attempted to bite its lower left leg, at which point it struck the dog sharply, frightening the subject. However, neither appeared to have been seriously harmed, and both returned to their play. The subject was removed from the enclosure without incident. Bone Man stood at the exit for several hours after the subject was removed, striking the walls repeatedly. However, did not use enough force to cause damage to its enclosure.
Oh, so he was missing the dog. He's like, I want the dog back. Entry 13. Human cadaver, female, 55 kilograms, 2 days after death. BB reacted as it would to a live human, including an attempt to crush its throat for several minutes. Otherwise identical to tests with similarly sized subjects. So he doesn't recognize if something is alive or dead.
This is the body. Let's see, entry 14. Human skeleton, articulated for teaching. Bone. I'm trying to think of more bone jokes.
The Bone Zone.
I said that one, remember?
Oh, okay.
That was my second one. Let's see. Bonacles approached the subject rapidly, but did not attack. Instead, examined the subject for seveal minutes, then began to prod it. When this elicited no response, it ran its hand along the top of the subject's head, then carefully removed the subject from the stand and carried it back into its enclosure. It cradled the subject for several hours, then it put the subject in the same position it takes during sleep periods. The skeleton is dead.
What have they done to you? Entry 16. Human cadaver. Male. 145 kilograms. 1 hour after death. Subject reacted as in log 13. However, it was able to keep the body intact while it placed itself inside. It walked around its enclosure for an hour while wearing the subject. When the projection was shown to clean the enclosure, SCP-3114 did not attempt to attack the projection. Instead, it walked up to it and began to attempt interaction. D-4843. An adult male was placed in the enclosure. When Bonnie Boy approached, he attempted to escape. SCP grabbed him, but did so gently. He continued to try to interact with him, taking his hand and placing it on his face, trying to ape his movements, and embracing him. He reacted negatively to all interactions. After 3 hours, D-4843 was removed from the enclosure. SCP-3114 waited for several minutes at the door. Then it tore the subject off of itself. It kicked the remains into a corner and lay down next to the subject of entry 14. It did not move for 3 days, at which point it resumed normal behavior. He probably hates being a skeleton, so he tried to like, oh, I'll make myself look.
I am like you.
Look, I am a regular human.
Yeah. It's like, what? Am I too fat? And he throws the corpse into the corner. Dang it.